Never thought of falling in love again. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond, 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 beyond. It's been a while now since love's been in this place. You see, many have tried, but no one could take your place, girl. Why you so beautiful? I see the future in your face, baby. Never in a million years I thought that you'd be mine, girl. That you'd be mine, girl. Never thought I would fall. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. But my heart's been stolen. Last forever. We'll go. Ooh, baby. We'll go, baby. We keep going and growing, girl. The best thing is knowing, girl. Cause when we KISSING, all I can say is OMG. My love in my life, you make all things right, baby. I trust you, girl, with my life. I don't want nobody but you. I'ma put my ring on you. Never thought I. No, never. Ooh, baby. Again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond. We will go so far. Beyond, beyond. You'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. We ain't looking for a thing. Yeah, you'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. Never thought I. Never thought I. No, never. Ooh, baby. Been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. You know, hope, baby. I hope it lasts forever, girl. I hope it lasts forever, girl. Hey, 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 hey. We will go, baby. We will go, baby. Ooh, we will go, baby. We will go so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby. Ooh,
You know, I think I'm gonna really give up this life. Just try to be a better guy, you know. But wait, man, they got a good girl, you know, and they really feel they go treat you a certain way.
I understand. So what's up with you?
Girls. Some things about kind of resolve. I think I can just, apologize and start fresh and clear the slate, and hopefully, that will work out for me.
Well, if it makes you happy, give it a try. She deserves it, right?
Hey, give you a call and see how it works out, man.
Let me know how it goes.
For sure. Thanks, man.
No problem.
How you doing? Before you hang up, can you just listen for a while? I was stupid, I'll admit it. Should've never done anything to take away your smile. So I dropped my pride, all my cards are laid. I know I hurt you most definitely, and I'm trying to make it right. I wanna take away your pain. Said you need your space and you're trying to live, but I'm really hoping that you can forgive me. I'm wrong, I wrote this song, it's been too long, forgive me, baby. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. Don't you leave, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. So baby, can I come over and show you how sorry I am? I'll make you my lady tonight. Oh, if you want it, put your request in and I'll be on it. We'll make sweet love all through the night. Oh, I didn't know you would pick up the phone, and now I'm wondering if you were alone, girl. If so, just let me know. I wanna plan a rendezvous. Please forgive me, don't turn away. I wanna try again starting today, honey. I'll fight, I'll treat you right. See me tonight, I'll fix this, baby. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong, girl. Don't you leave, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. Don't you leave, no, no. I was wrong, I apologize. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I am. Baby, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I am. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong. I was wrong, girl. Don't you leave. My apology. Oh, baby, please. Ooh, I was wrong. I apologize. This is my apology. I was apologize. I was wrong.
Hello.
Hey babe, what you doing?
Nothing.
Can you come over?
Yeah, not easy.
Anybody ever told ya what a woman really is? If you ever get the moment, show them how much they give. You're a shoulder I can cry on, arms I can embrace. Is to hear my deepest thoughts, protect her night and day. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are.
You have birthed the nations, a nurturer you are. You bless us with your wisdom, and you tended every scar. You have found me broken, you have shown me light. You ignited all my passions, and loved me through the night. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are.
To be a woman is to be blessed with unparalleled intuition, to be powerful, power independent of place or position. To be a woman is to be a mother, giving birth to sons and daughters, ideas, institutions, and business ventures. To be a woman is to be the current inspiration, the future aspiration of a young lady, of a little girl.
You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're a gem, a diamond flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're an African queen flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. So you are amazing. I try to describe, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. You are woman. You are. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. And when obstacles manifest as natural, you are born for this.
To be a woman is to be the heart of the system, to be the one who brings life into our world.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes in quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil, joined as always by my brother from another mother, and your host, Derek.
Here. Andy Crank.
That gonna work with me. Oh my God! She belongs to the street. Stop the cap.
X-Files. Hell no. Yes, sir. What's going on, my brother? How is life treating you?
Man, he quite all the ladies tonight, it's been another one of them long days, but
And you sound hot, boy.
Yeah, and they working it daily, so I hear fighting the good fight, man. But yeah, man, I am here. What's going on with you, my brother?
I here too. I see we both have on vests. I was gonna call them the other thing, but you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. No, live stream.
Yeah, no, in 2023. But we have on vests because outside is extremely hot, and we decide. Well, I decided. I know what Derek decided. I decided where to say I almost come on shirtless, but as I promised, I don't have the abs, so it makes sense me coming on. But otherwise, hey, all right, man, I can't complain,
Yeah, man.
It's all right. Everything's okay. But before we get into the podcast, Derek, you gotta tell the people about G-Syndicate. We'll show some music videos, some previous music videos you guys would have done back in the day, so you could just plug G-Syndicate and let people know how, when, and where to find you guys.
Yeah, man. We had a blast on Saturday night at Jazz in the Yard. We went over there. We did our thing. It went down really, really well. So big ups to the crew at St. Mary's Church for having us, and big up to the guys for doing their thing as only they can. And shout out Kiamal, Waden, Mark, Brett, and Hugh. We went in there. We did the thing. We left, we came, we saw, we conquered. We'll put it that way. So yeah, shout out the guys. And you can find us on everything at G-Syndicate 6. See Priya in the house, Aston and Marlon. Good night to you. You can find us everything at G-Syndicate 6. That includes the .com, G-Syndicate6.com. You can find us also here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at G-Syndicate 6, SoundCloud, G-Syndicate 6, and also on Instagram, G-Syndicate 6. But because the hackers like that more than us, we had to make a little adjustments to 6 if you want to find us on Instagram. Yeah, that's
all right.
Guys.
Yeah, so check out G-Syndicate, people. Met all things right. They're very good at what they do, and harmonizing and sweet singing and everything. Nah, they're good fellas. So all in all, I would recommend them all the time. I see Mikey Mercer in the house. Shout out, Michael. Hope everything is well, my brother. Priya is in the house. As Derek said earlier, I am grateful to see Priya because she had the warrior princess. I'll just leave that there. Anyhow, as I told y'all, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast, but we do have some things coming up. Now, a lot of you would have attended our first inaugural ever happening King's Gathering on May 6th. Y'all liked it so nice. We decided to do it again in August. Y'all could not wait until November. So, Derek, please plug the next King's Gathering, the second edition in August.
Yeah, man, it's going to be at the Mannings. It's one of the so big up the Mannings and Kevin as well. Big respects. We're going to be there over on August 20th. We're going to be there. We're going to start at 6 p.m. this time around. That's a Sunday because, people on the Saturday, they probably didn't get the opportunity. As many as we would have hoped would have been able to avail themselves of the information. And we want as many people as possible to come on out. So we're going to make the adjustment to a Sunday evening, see if we can get a few more bodies in the place, because at the end of the day, as I say to Neil all the time, we trying to uplift people and get people to really check out this stuff and be more aware about, to be more aware of, how things are going down, and to be able to provide for, protect themselves, that kind of thing. So we want you to be there. So we shifted to Sunday. It's going to be in the Ginger Lily Hall in the Bell Estates over in St. Michael. So come on out. There's absolutely no charge. Come on out, support this cause. It's going to be good information to get. And an addition already, big up Tam Tar Culinary Creations. They have come on board in an effort to sponsor some of the very light refreshments that will be there on the evening. It is a Sunday evening, so don't expect you're coming to get a race and stew and that kind of thing. And also, please remember, I see my man Snow in the house. Big up Snow. I see Philip and Jimmy, Tango Fox, Cherish in the house. Good night to all of you. And please remember, it is the King's Gathering. It's not the Paro's Gathering. So come dressed to impress. Come suited and booted, as I like to say. And represent yourself. We're going to have more presentations on the legal aspects for men, finance, that kind of thing. Some more fitness and nutrition. We're going to have a good old grand time over there. The Ginger Lily Hall, the Bell Estates, August 20th, 6 p.m.
Yep, so check out the King's Gathering, people. We really want to up the thing, as the young people would say. And of course, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, this is the live stream space that we do, 8 p.m. Barbados time. You would have to Google to find out the other times. But we come and we speak about life, love, and relationships from the perspective of Black Caribbean men. And then we have the Senate Shorts, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Those are a bit lighthearted. Those are a bit more wild, I guess is the best way to say it. But there still are a bit of social commentary in the streets, as our roving reporter Derek would say. He goes in and he's the Geraldo. He would go on the corner and talk to the people, come back with his investigative journalism. So yeah, check us out, Senate Podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Let's like the content, share the content so we can build the content. And of course, today is Tuesday. And as I said, as every Tuesday, we bring topics to you. Derek usually, he that's his side of the thing. He goes and he says, this is what we're talking about today. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Next Lifetime, the story of Erykah Badu. So this is going to be very interesting. So good night to everybody, all those that are in the Senate. Thank you very much for joining. Lee, Cherish had a birthday over the weekend. Happy birthday to you, Cherish. Again, Tango Fox, Philip, Jason. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So let's get it, my brother.
Yes, sir. I think it was sometime last week we would have done the usual monologue. It was a monologue it was doing? No, we were doing this fan submission and we had a little back and forth with some of the ladies in the chat who seemed to take a little bit of umbrage on what some of the things they said about, treating yourself and, kind of diving into that particular self-love kind of aspect of it. And I was trying to make the point that, self-love is all right, but at the end of the day, being in a partnership is still paramount in more ways than one. And I felt after that this was the appropriate time to bring tonight's topic. And let's get into it. Let's have the intro video, Neil, if you got it there queued up.
Yes, I do.
And we can get in that. This is episode 217. We are still cranking. 217. Next Lifetime. Right?
All right.
So we are still here. Let's get it.
BossMag.com. The key points of not selling requires accountability, setting standards, and fueling your mind and body. Now, ladies, why is it important not to settle as a Black woman? I know this is easy, but Claudia, since nobody never gets to go to you first, tell me why it is so important for Black women to not settle.
Because we have it the hardest out of everybody. We have double minority status and usually do twice the work, half the pay, half the respect. So damn it, we deserve to not have to settle. And I know it seems like it's like easier sometimes, like, well, you know, statistics always tell us only 35% of women, Black women will get married and mostly going to be single. And after a certain age, it's a wrap. So we kind of sit there and say, well, I'll share or I'll compromise on this, or maybe he's not all I want, but he's better than nothing, or a piece of a man is better than no man. Hell to the no. Absolutely the F not. And sometimes it's hard when someone's like pretty good, but there's some things that really don't sit well with your spirit. And we try to sometimes force a square peg into a round hole, and you find yourself frustrated because you're like, oh, because you're settling. And when you feel that feeling where it's like, damn it, something is still not sitting right, you have to walk away, as hard as it is, and have faith that when you do that, the thing that you like, we're not going to settle for, will come into your life. And it usually does when you're not expecting it. That's all I'm going to say about that. I swear,
I concur with Claudia 100%. As a matter of fact, my girlfriend who just spoke, I told her that we had a nice little talk. And you and I.
Yeah.
That I told you, you never keep smiling until God sends you your king. Don't settle. And I feel that way to tell that to other ladies, because, you know, we go through stuff we ain't got no reason going through. Because we like, but I'm this, but I'm that. And doesn't he see how much I care? And blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. When you learn as a woman that as much as you give, you deserve to get back, if not more. Today, it's incredible to me that a friend of mine on her page, I was just scrolling through some of her posts, and that speech by, what was Trevor Noah? The comedian before he retired.
Yeah.
And he says, if you want to learn something, everything I learned it from a Black woman. If you want to find out about who's going to be the strongest, if stuff gets crazy and when it gets crazy, it's going to be a Black woman. And that speech that he gave when he was retiring from his show brought tears to my eyes, because we forget how special we are. We forget our power and how much we hold things together for our families and finally for each other. Don't settle. You don't have to. If someone don't get you, to hell with them. And I mean that.
You serious?
You can't make this shit up.
Yep. It's gonna be one of those episodes. Anyhow, my brother, I love that. I love the commentary from all of those women. At one point in time, all of those women were in a very high demand, and now they're saying, "Don't settle as a woman. You deserve what you." But oh, I love what she just said.
You know, there's a story of a woman who's a 123-year-old virgin, right?
No, I don't know that story.
Yeah, she's a 123-year-old virgin and still waiting for that guy. Anyhow, let me press on.
Press on, my brother.
Women love Lori Harvey.
Let me get Lori Harvey on screen. Right? Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Why? Harvey's beautiful. She lives a largely sponsored life. And most importantly, she has the ability to attract, subsequently dump men of means, like Michael B. Jordan, for example. And most recently, Damson Idris. And move on to the next with seemingly relative ease. Women want to believe that they all have this ability as well. The problem with this approach is that, unfortunately, most women aren't Lori Harvey. Saw what she looked like just now when Neil put her on screen. So too often, they don't realize when the game is coming to an end and it's time to get up from the table and cash out. Very often, women find out too late that the game is over and they're left without chips, without options, and then they come to social media to put out an appeal for help. And make no mistake about it, ladies and gents, these posts are veritable SOS. One such lady with an outpost is Erykah Badu. Yeah. Erykah Badu rose to prominence in the late 90s when her album Baduism, and I think everybody would have heard Baduism at some point. We certainly know Tyrone, right? You need to call Tyrone, call him. Yeah.
Hit amongst the ladies.
Yeah, for sure. That album, Baduism, 1997, placed her at the forefront of the neo soul movement, as she is widely regarded or considered the queen of neo soul by music critics and fans alike. Now, Erykah Badu said recently that she won't settle for less than her king. Put that on screen for me, Neil.
You did ready, my brother.
She said she won't settle for anything less but her king. And she asks, where are you? Remember I told you about an SOS? She out there searching, searching. So appropriate because that song was on Baduism too, right? So let's have a look at the screenshot. I saw that Neil put it on screen. So let's have a look now at the comment section, because the comment section is always where the juice is. All right?
Yep, you're on screen.
So somebody says he out here getting overlooked. Women overlook a lot of good men. I know. Y'all gonna read this and throw me on the grill, but the numbers don't lie. And then this next comment was kind of like the cue for today's show. I guess you'll see him next lifetime. I guess you'll see him next lifetime. Yeah. So all them successful men she was with weren't kings, or maybe she's not a, never mind, I'm not in the mood to be attacked. Somebody else says, I don't think it's a shortage of good men. It's a shortage of women that notice the good men. Did you all know only 30% of adult males account for the entire population of children? That means women are choosing the same men in the same circles with the same storylines. Look beyond your superficial preferences and find love. Be right back. I'm doing the same. This guy says, I'm right here, baby. I'm ready for that voodoo kitty. Now, the voodoo kitty comment is important because don't forget, Neil, we did a short where Erykah Badu was kind of like bottling her juices.
Yeah,
and
bottling do. Well,
and juice and selling it as, perfume, or at least that was a plan she had. Right? Somebody says slim pickings in the king section. There is an abundance of jesters though. Right? That's a lady making that comment. Somebody says, now sis, you done had a couple of kings already, but let's be real here. All right. Somebody says, if the queen herself is still looking, we don't stand a chance. Now, this is the queen, right? This lady considers her the queen. Yeah. But the queen of what, Neil? So, yes. Queen of, relationships and all that. And selling juices online. And we're not talking about the juice man that you will see.
Shut up, Lord man.
Shut up, Lord man. We're not talking about a juice man that you will see for the side of the road, huh? Then the juices we're talking about. This guy says, no, y'all see this lady's 56 years old and still out here searching for a man, treat men right, and adore and respect them. Y'all can stop with all the negative ways and attitudes, either that or just be a good dog mom. Somebody says, no, Erykah, you're not exactly a traditional woman, and you already got 3 kids by 3 different men. People came for Erykah in the comments. Somebody says she seems like she has a lot going on upstairs. I'm not sure anyone wants to be bothered with all that. I see VS buying Allegra because his allergies won't let him be around incense for long periods of time. Somebody said it's always when y'all turn 96 years old.
God damn.
Somebody says better call King Jesus. Says God is your king. He knew that 27-year-old wasn't going to last. Can't wait to see her with her equal. Somebody says she's on her 20th king. Maybe she's the problem. Somebody says it better call Tyrone. Call him. Right. So you saw Erykah got a nice flaming in the comments. Of course, she has had access to and children with Andre 3000, the DOC, J Electronica. She was also involved with Common at one point. Common is the only person of those four with whom she did not have a child. Right? Yeah, at 50 odd, Erykah is here on social media, strapping with her 80-year-old daughter. We can't show you those pics. And talking about not settling. She tired settling. It must be noted that this all comes after she was engaged to an unknown 26 or 27-year-old guy. Now, let the record show, Andre 3000 has gone on. He's actually married himself. Not sure what the DOC and J Electronica are doing. You look at it, you got Andre 3000, then it was Common, then it was the DOC, then J Electronica. The men getting less and less in stature till we get down to 27-year-old Gerard Atkinson that nobody knows, right? If you never settle, you'll eventually get what you want. This is what a lot of women like Claudia Jordan and Vivica Fox in the intro video would want us to believe. Unfortunately, we only have to look around at many of the ladies in our own lives to see that this isn't the case. And I want you guys to pause and want you to really give it some thought. And I want you to think about how many ladies we see that are all alone by their lonesome selves at 50, 60 plus. And we wonder why it is that they're still single. As a matter of fact, sometimes we don't go, I wonder, we know why they're still single. Right? And because I don't want to get in trouble for using local situations again, to highlight what we're talking about, let's explain how this phenomenon works. The video that is going to crystallize exactly what I mean. So I want us to have a watch of this video. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. Just let you watch and be amazed.
All right, let's get it.
So the question is, when do you settle? When do you compromise? Or do you at all? As for me, I've been single a pretty long time. Never thought it would be this long. I have to admit, when I got divorced a long time ago, it was a little arrogant. I was in my mid-30s, and I knew it was a good catch. Good woman, educated, great career, amazing mom, and I was a great wife. Cook, clean, do all that. So I kind of was a little arrogant and thought, oh, it's no problem. I'm going to be married in 2 to 3 years. Well, it's been a long, long time. And honestly, not even gotten close. And so sometimes, you know, like a lot of women in my situation that I've talked to, that you ask yourself, well, when do you give up? When do you give up on finding the one? Or do you? As for me, I go back and forth. Sometimes I go, well, I just need to be with Mr. Right Now. Doesn't give me butterflies, but he's a good man. He's nice. He likes me. Don't have much in common, but he calls, so I talk to him. Or sometimes you've got the one that gives you butterflies, but you know he's unreliable and not dependable. He's broke. You got to take him out to dinner. We've all done that. Those are never sustaining long-term relationships. So the question is, do you compromise? Well, where I am right now today, I'm going to say no. I'm not going to compromise. I'm waiting. I'm going to stay optimistic. It gets hard staying optimistic this long, but I'm going to stay optimistic. Now, tomorrow, I don't know. Might settle. Just keeping it real.
Tomorrow she can settle. Ooh, do take here, brother.
Yo, ladies and gents, it is cold out here in these streets. As much as I've been living a lot of things since we started this particular space, I genuinely want to see everybody have a satisfying, fulfilling, and happy relationship with a partner. Not like, you know what I mean? Please note that she left her husband in her, let me say, her 30s, and she's now in her 60s and still single. She admits to her mind she thought she could do better. She essentially upgraded man. She said she was feeling arrogant about it. Yeah, you can get married in 2 years, right? Because to her, tell it she was a catch. But a catch for whom? A catch for whom? Who says that you were a good wife or a good catch, a good woman? The man that probably thought that would be the guy that you divorced. The other guys that are looking on, see how you treated that guy, they probably don't think you're a good catch, right? Now, ladies like Claudia Jordan and Vivica Fox will encourage you to do bad all by yourself. But what they don't tell you, or what they don't want you to know, is that sometimes the consequences of choosing to do bad all by yourself can be quite dire. And please let me slide back here a little bit and say that Claudia Jordan, single-ish, but single adjacent. Vivica Fox, single. 60s lady there just now, single. Erykah Badu, single. Yeah. Putting it out there. Sometimes it isn't just the loneliness. Loneliness is indeed a real thing. I'm not saying this could happen to you or happen to at least all of you on this particular level, but I do not want to see any of you under the sound of my voice on a social media platform like this next lady that we're going to show you. So let me put out the disclaimer here now. If your heart is not strong, this video, start the water words a little bit, especially if you find that you can relate. So brace yourself for impact. Let's check it out.
Don't take.
Talk about it, but before I do, I need people, if you are a parent who was like touched out by your children, I do not want to see you in the comments. If you are someone with any kind of neurodivergency and it manifests or shows up as you not liking touch or people touching you, I do not want to see you in the comments. Okay? But I feel like I'm dying from like touch starvation, y'all. I don't get hugs. I don't know. I feel like if I were to get the kind of hug that I fucking really want, I would crumble into pieces. I don't. How do you deal with that? I really like need to be like touched. And I know someone's gonna say like, okay, go to the salon and get your hair done, or get a massage, or get your nails done, right? So someone can hold your hand. None of those people love me. None of those services love me. Right? But I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling with like I don't get hugs. That shit is it could be like maybe a hello, whatever, maybe. But it's not enough. I don't know how how am I gonna go the rest of my life like this? I think that's really hard. I'm just really struggling. I'm really struggling. Like I spent like last night just going like this. Like 20 minutes. I'm just, if anyone else is struggling, what are you doing?
Sir.
Yeah, I told you that was one of them ones. I stood the heart of stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, folks, this is episode 217 of the Senate Podcast live stream version. This is next lifetime. I'll be talking about settling in the kind of indirect way, right? So, folks, you made the point that going for a massage or a manicure and a pedicure doesn't count because the people that are providing the service, they're doing exactly that, providing the service. There's no personal investment. They don't really care. They can do the manicure for you, get a little massage, pedicure, pay me, left my place, right? That's the extent of the investment there. That's the extent of the connection. The connection exists only in as far as you paying the appropriate fee. This lovely lady has lived her life in such a way that nobody is checking for her now. Think about that. Nobody is checking for her. And the children, the relatives, the friends, and certainly no partner from whom she can even get a hug. Think about that. That is significant and more than a little sad. I don't want anybody that I know to have to be experiencing that. At this point, I want us to skip back a few live streams. To episode 188, Dream a Little Dream. And we're going to watch this clip of Taraji P. Henson on the Angie Martinez podcast. They have two brilliant gentlemen there that have disseminated some of this for you. We can have a watch of that and we can come back. Hit the like button on the way in, folks. This is the price of admission. That's all it is. Hit the like button. Make sure you still subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. Actress. We can watch this clip of her on a podcast recently, and I want us to hear and watch what she had to say. And we can come back, right?
You're always the
life of the party.
You're life of the party, and
it was my best friend that said it. She was like
challenging.
It is very challenging. She said, I watch you and Taraji, no matter what you're going through, you will go into it. She said, you're such an empath. You're so compassionate that no matter what you're going through, and I know you'll go into a room and you'll see people not able to pull themselves up, and you'll be that person, and you'll ignore your whole what you're going through, your mental state. You'll ignore it just to lift that room up.
That's exhausting, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's tiring.
And I'm just getting to
it's kind, but it's like...
I'm just getting to this point where it's like, it's empty for me now. Like, I can do it, and I love it. I love to make people happy and smile. But then what about me? Because I go home in the shadows and the four corners of my room. Who's there to lift me up? So... this trip to Bali ain't got nothing to do with my friends, my mama, my dad, my kid. No, this is me.
What are you hoping to get out of it?
I'm trying to find that happiness again. That happiness that was innately in me.
Were you like a happy kid? Like a happy...
I was the only kid. I could play by myself. I had the most incredible imagination. That's why I'm an actress. That's why I am the actress that I am, because I had so much time alone, and all I could do was create and pretend that the other person was sitting. I had to pretend you were there. I didn't have, you know what I mean? So that's me. That's what I do, and it's in me. Like, I grew up like that. But I just hit my glass ceiling, I think. Lifting rooms and being the life of the party is like, where is your life?
No. Let's acknowledge that Taraji P. Henson is not your average black woman. Those of you on this sound of my voice, brace for this next comment. Like, man, brace. Somehow, she transformed herself into your average black woman. What do I mean by that? A woman's purpose is 52 years old. Is it exceptionally beautiful? Is her man. Any man, her man. Now, I know that's contentious. I know that's triggering for the ladies, but I'm not going to apologize for saying that. So before you get triggered, hear me out. Allow me to elaborate. Allow me to explain what I mean, and then you can gather all the info you want to refute my points. Refute the points. Not me. Refute the points when they finish here, right? Ladies and gents. Ladies. That is definitely. It matters not how much money you have, how many degrees you have, how many girlfriends you have in your circle, how many men you have in your rotation or the friend zone, how much ass you have, how many the size of your breasts, how much wine you drink, how many cats and dogs you have, how many red bottoms you have. If you don't have that solid relationship with a man that you care about and that cares about you, you will eventually start to regret it. Let me repeat all of that. Ladies, it matters not how much money you have, how many degrees you have, how many girlfriends you have in your friend circle, how many men in the rotation or in the friend zone, how much ass you have, how much breasts you got, how much wine you drink, how many cats and dogs you have, how many red bottoms you have. If you don't have that solid relationship with a man that you care about and that cares about you, you will eventually start to regret it. Whenever these ladies come to social media for therapy, and they saw big up Jason. So Jason made a post a couple weeks ago. TikTok is not therapy. A lot of ladies come to TikTok for, that hit, that validation, etc. Whenever these ladies come to social media for therapy, it is always relating to something that can be solved in part, not wholly, in part, by a solid relationship with a man. So we can conclude that a woman's purpose is her man. Erykah Badu, watching Ebony K. Williams from a couple weeks ago, refused to date a bus driver, Taraji P. Henson, Claudia Jordan, Vivica Fox. Erykah Badu is beautiful, rich, well-connected, and has access to all kinds of men over her lifespan, as did all those other ladies that we called there just now. Tracy Ellis Ross. Yet, Erykah Badu is on social media making a cry for help and getting roasted in the comment section. Now, it seems as if male-centered content is slowly going mainstream. Only yesterday, a friend of mine, big up my girl Dion, sent me a song by Shaquille from right here in Barbados, a song called Fumble. This song spoke about a woman leaving a man who treated her well to move on with a guy who gave her less than stellar treatment. And this is a topic that is becoming more and more prevalent as more and more men start to share their stories. Ladies, I want you to think about it. I want you to give it a good thought. There's a guy in your friend zone right now, or even a guy that you've dealt with before, that is waiting for the opportunity to be your man, but for some reason, whatever that reason may be, maybe he's not tall enough, or he's driving a bus. Whatever reason it is, you are not willing to give him a chance. And ladies, let me say up front, that is perfectly fine. You have agency over your parts. That is a top line. You have agency over your parts. You are free to give them to whomever you so please. You're free to choose with whom you want to be, but I want to caution you to make a choice in good time and make a wise choice. Do not keep waiting on Prince Charming. You may end up waiting until your next lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. Like the content, share the content so we can build the content. My brother, this content that we do, right? I just want people to realize that the content that we do, Derek and myself, we enjoy the psychology of it. We do. But then again, sometimes there are parts of it that are a bit sad, I guess is the best way to put it. I know you see us sometimes doing content and laughing, snickering, etc., etc., etc. But this is one of those things where I don't think this is very much a laughing matter, right? Because it is interesting since we've started doing this content and us being more aware of certain ideologies and perspectives and just the general mentality of men and women, particularly in the modern era. It is just striking how it makes you wonder if women or people in general really want what they say they want, right? For example, you saw that lady there was talking about touch. She's talking about she wasn't getting touched, etc., etc., etc. And let's be honest, right? Doesn't matter if it's man or woman, touch is essential to overall mental and physical health. I mean, we could go into this, the studies, the statistics, all of those things. You live a better life when you're constantly touched. We're not about sex. Just talking about touch of a certain kind, right? And it is sad to see a lot of women hold out to these types of ideologies and perspectives. You know, like, no, Derek and myself, we've broken this down into a couple of categories. One, if you're a woman that is, by societal standards or by the general public, a good-looking woman, gorgeous, then you are going to feel entitled to deserving better. You are going to stick out and hold out, and you will not settle, right? Second thing is you're a woman that would have achieved a lot. You may have a PhD, you may have some sort of certificate, masters, etc., etc. And you believe that entitles you to what you are, a man that is on your level or higher, right? And then, of course, there the ladies that are delusional. Don't need to say anything more about that. Women think them just got turned up and them is the table, right? But we've brought this content. We've shown you the statistics. We've shown you the dating apps data. We've shown you anecdotal. We've brought all types of things to show you that a lot of you are saying you want husbands. Sorry. Yes, a lot of you are saying you want husbands and wives, but you are not asking yourself if you are indeed a husband or a wife. I found it very striking. Out of everything that was said here tonight so far, I found it interesting that Claudia Jordan made mention that she has decided that she deserves what she puts out. She deserves someone that puts out what she puts out. And I find that interesting because, you know, karma, if we look at it, I mean, karma is an intangible thing, but if you put out good, you can get back good. If you put out bad, you can get back bad. Right? So are you trying to tell me all of these women, Erykah Badu, all of these women, no matter who it is, right? All these women are putting out this, I want a king energy and I am a queen energy, and they're getting frogs? There is something not right with this equation. At the end of the day, right? I understand you have your looks, you know, and you know, they say black no crap. We know some women that in the 50s and 60s, shoot. The woman that was there, so granny just know 60 saying she ain't look bad at all. 60 something, she look pretty decent, right? She still would catch an eye or two. Young boy would still hit that up, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to recognize that that's where you can get hit up for, right? Because the men you want, you know, we go down the line. The man must have looks, status, money, resources. He must be kind, altruistic, generous. He must be all of these things. But are you that? Are you that? No. Before you answer, think about it. Are you that? Or is your personality traits contingent on what you receive first? You see, it is all fine and good to call yourself a queen. It's good, all fine and good to call yourself a king, right? I don't know how many of you are into history, probably, I don't know. But if you go through history, kings and queens have been very, up and down. We've had good kings, we've had bad kings, we've had bad queens, good queens, etc. Queen Victoria was not good. Henry VIII was not good. Antoinette, she was not good. We had in history, we've had rulers that took a 6 for 9 and took advantage of the people. But then we did have very, very good kings and queens, right? I think we've gotten to an age where everyone has a very inflated ego of self, very, very inflated. And you believe that you deserve the sun, the moons, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the word. That's big trap, right? But what you putting out there? We saw, recently we saw somebody posted something, right? And they were very critical of Barbadian men, right? And it was rather interesting. And already I could tell you, before the person described the person that made the post, I said, I bet you that woman is a good looking woman. And so said, so done. She's a very attractive woman, right? Because only attraction or delusion will make you believe that you could say wild stuff and it just work out like that, right? And we gotta realize that first things first, what I think a lot of people need to realize is that men and women are just that, men and women. They're the sum of their experiences, right? We are not a Swiss Army knife to pull out and be disposed when you don't want, pick up and put away when you want. We are genuine human beings, right? I say men and women, right? We got to stop with this thing of, oh, I want a man to approach me now. No, he can't approach me now. Oh, he has to say this now. Oh, he can't say this now. We have literally heard and seen women be vexed with men because they were too nice, buying roses, flowers, cooking dinner. That's too much. You're too nice. Don't shout at me. Don't say nothing. But then, of course, the opposite of that. When it goes too far right. And then now that is where the police is getting involved, and that's a problem. So you have to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and I can talk to the ladies a bit. You have to ask yourself, who are you really? And who you really about? Because I think it's all right to admit to yourself that you don't want a husband, that you don't want a serious relationship. You just want to live hot girl summer. And if a man come along to hug and squeeze you for a period of time, you will take that on. The man look in your eyes and carry you to a candlelit dinner every now and then. Accept that that's what you want. Accept that. Make peace with the fact that that's what you want. You don't want the man sleeping at you. You ain't sleeping at the man. You got your house. You work hard to get your degree and everything like that. You ain't cooking a boy in a sandwich nor making in a meal, nothing so. Right? Make up in your mind that there will be long, dark days where those men will only come through lash and dash and leave. And you may see down the line they got married. How many of you have ever seen the situation where you dated a man and it didn't work out? The man tutus turn around and get married. Shoot. I could tell you as a man, that happened to me with women, where, you had the woman, good women, and you him and her, and you say, and tutus the woman married. Then you barely heard you. It's a child boy, let a good one go. And you don't know when the next good one gonna come along, because good people are not guaranteed to come in your life, because there are villains out there. And shoot, let me not even go to the bad faith argument. It's not that there are villains out there. It's just that some people just don't have the mental capacity to have these types of relationships. So in my mind, right, I just want people to be in a quiet moment, speak to yourself and ask yourself, do I really want a husband? And more importantly, do I really want to be a wife? Do I want to be a husband? You understand? Ask those questions of yourself. And I'm sure it's going to inform a lot of you. Ask yourself if you want to be a husband or a wife. And if you say, yes, I want to be a husband or a wife, ask yourself, am I right now capable? In my mind, spirit, resources, whatever, capable of being that? This whole settling nonsense, right? You know what settling sounds like? Settling sounds like, you know what? I got it like that so good that when the right person comes along, they can take me up, or I will take them up. You know what I mean? It's a level of delusion and entitlement that is fascinating to me. That you would say, nah, I ain't gonna settle for that woman or that man. I ain't gonna settle for that woman or that man. I ain't gonna take that on. I deserve better. But when that person actually comes, like the person you actually envision, one or two things. One, person they want you. Or two, the person when you look under the facade or you dig a little deeper on the surface, them in a better, nor the worse than anybody else. Them in, they're not matching you. Right? Now, I understand people have deal breakers. I understand people have things that are necessary. You need somebody that may have a sense of humor, or you may need somebody that is into touch, or you may be into somebody that, there's, I don't know, cook and clean, carry you on surprise dates. I don't know. But by that same thing, the older you get, you have to start to ask yourself, why am I single? Why am I not somebody's wife, or I don't have a husband? The answer can't come back. It is the man. I ain't saying that man. I ain't saying, hey, yo. I ain't saying that man ain't out there being nefarious.
You see, the problem, Neil, is that it has to come back that way, because it is a hard Jedi mind trick, It's a hard Jedi mind trick, because we like to say that all men are dogs. Yeah, they're not good. Have you ever heard the expression, the only good man is a dead one?
I never heard it, but I'm not surprised.
Put a one in the chat if you've ever heard that expression. The only good man is a dead one.
I never heard it, but I'm not surprised.
But you have to use that by making a statement like that. The presupposition being no good men exist. Therefore, if I can't find one, it can't be me. Or they just know it exists. Yeah, Tango Fox say he's heard it. Right? Steve has heard it. Right? So it always has to come back to, the men in the use, the men in the good. And interestingly enough, it technically kind of sort of is the men, and it hit me during you talking, because guess what? We control your access to relationships. So if the men ain't picking you, there's got to be a reason that men ain't picking you.
But hold on a minute there.
Women are not viewing it like that.
But not to cross you, right? But in some cases, the men are choosing them.
Oh.
Look at the divorce rates now. Look at how women are, one, refusing to marry. Well, sorry, don't let me say refusing to marry. No, let me say 1 in 4 Black women in their lifetime will be married. However, they're divorcing at a very, very high rate. Right? So I think women are being chosen. Right?
And men still want married.
Yeah.
Contrary to what the popular belief is.
Right? I think, and this is not let me be clear, it's not a black and white situation. It's not 100% type of thing. I'm not saying all women are being chosen and deciding to throw away marriage. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that men are completely absolved of responsibility and accountability in this situation. I'm not saying that either. But what I'm saying is that at some point we have to recognize we have had a good thing, or there is a good thing around us, but we're deciding to find ways to shoot ourselves in the foot. Right? We have to acknowledge the fact that, you ask yourself the hard questions. Right? If you are mid-30s going on, right? You're in your 30s, you're going on. You've had multiple relationships. At this point, you're going to ask yourself, all right, why ain't nobody wife or ain't nobody husband? Why ain't got a wife? Why ain't got a husband? Right? You have to ask yourself in a true, honest, transparent way. Have that conversation with yourself. Is it that every person that you have had, I just thought of the perfect analogy. We all heard this story before. Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Right? Porridge too hot, porridge too cold. It's just good enough. A bed too hard, bed too soft, it's just good enough. Sometimes there's not just right bed without people. Sometimes if you're looking at porridge, you're going to be like, man, this too lumpy or too hot, too this, that. You can always find fault. Why? Because you're looking for a perfect scenario. Because everybody has the perfect person in their head. Everyone has the perfect person in their head. How she look or he look, how they behave, how they move, how they speak. They have all of those things, the body dimensions, everything. Resources, everything. How they treat you, where they carry you, how they move you, everything. All of us have that person in our head. The problem is that person ain't walking boat. Not how you say it in your mind. There may be a person, but the breast ain't big enough. It might be there, or that man ain't tall enough. That woman, you know, she maybe have a little weight on her. You understand what I mean? At some point, we have to recognize that we have had good people around us. And at this point, if you choose to be single and not settle, you have to ask yourself, why? You have to ask yourself, am I really somebody's wife or somebody's husband? Right? It's just, it fascinates me because, and then, no, I understand. And here's the thing. For example, I can speak a bit about me, right? Now, I have a fear when it comes to relationships. I'm not going to go into what those fears are, but those are based on some traumas that I would have had in my earlier life, right? And I'm constantly asking myself if I am capable enough of being somebody's husband. It goes back to self-doubt, if I'm good enough, etc., 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 because I have this feeling of I was not good enough before, and that's why women would have decided to end relationships with me, because in my mind, I felt like I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing and I'm not good enough. That is something that I'm working through. That's something I had to painfully go through in myself, in my mind, and decide I need help and work to get past. Instead of me saying, shoot, all these women here, so then left for me, let me know a good man is a good man. I 6 foot, like this, that, the next, the third, I got da. Why these women left for me? They gotta be the women. No. At some point, I had to realize, brother man, because when I talk with people that say, what become a so-and-so? Man, it work out. I see you had a lot of good women, you know. And when I think about it, it's like, yeah, I had some, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had some villains. But I think the majority, almost probably 1 or 2 were villains. Well, 3 were both villains. But all the others were great women. And either I wasn't ready or I had self-doubt. I mean, yes, in certain cases, it just didn't work out. You know, it wasn't really the body fault. It just, you know, it wouldn't gel. But at some point, you have to ask yourself why, right? You're getting older. We are seeing a lot of people, particularly women, are doing things like being a plant mom and a pet, a dog mom, and being taking up godchildren and going on girls' trips and all sorts of things. Shoot, in some cases, we see women just flat out turning into, like, deciding to be gay, to be lesbian. And it is fascinating to me that you would do all of these things and not first look at self and say, maybe I should try to deal with certain things. Quite literally about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Derek and I were made privy to a situation, and it fascinated me that people would rather not take accountability and do something completely outside of their nature and their inclination, all to avoid looking and being critical of self. That
sometimes it goes fish in there, man.
But man, anybody can tell you chicken or rice. I was a chicken or rice man. I would eat chicken. I would eat rice. I would eat rice and fish.
So the girls gonna do some pizza.
The anchovies. Yo, yeah. So it's just fascinating, right? I know, see the Goldilocks principle. I know reading that, right? It just fascinates me that a lot of us will make videos about how, or make posts that they're alone, or I would like to be carried out on a date, etc., etc., etc. And then the next post or 2 posts later is like, more men and dogs, men need to stop coming around me, and you know, I am not the one. It fascinates me. I would rather be by myself. I can be a pet mom. I better by myself, and this and that, the next. Right? All right, you better by yourself. But only you and God knows what's be happening behind closed doors. Mine is be like, child boy, I literally ain't got nobody. I certainly can attest that there have been times when I literally pick up my phone and I have no one that I can reach out to for any level of intimacy. That makes sense. A lot of us think that intimacy is only sex and touch, but sometimes intimacy is sharing a joke. Intimacy is sometimes, you know, being silly. You know what I mean? Intimacy is sometimes checking out. Are you good? You have to eat, whatever. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, you can reach out to your boys, but
It is the same thing.
And the same thing. It is not the same thing. At the end of the day, if you're a heterosexual person, whatever your inclination is, you want the intimate response from what you like.
Mm-hmm.
You can hang out with you boys all you want. You can hang out with you women or you girls all you want. You could try all sorts of ways and means to stave off that feeling of loneliness. By the end of the day, there will come times where I literally will have lied down in my bed and cried. And I talk about 50 years ago, you know. I don't say as like last year, middle of last year. You know what I mean? Last year, you pick up the phone, so 10 o'clock at night, and the ain't no, you just thinking, going through your mind, all the people that you can message and call or whatever. It's not that there aren't people you can message and call, but you're not on that level with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can message a woman and say, hi, how you doing or whatever, but they can be like, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, this is a little weird.
What's going on? You know what I mean? You don't have that familiarity with people. Yeah, I could call up my boys and say, yeah, Derek, what's going on, everything like that. But it's not the same. It is not the same. So we could fool it. Because I am well aware of what I need in terms of intimacy and what I need to feel secure, validated, justified, whatever, as a person, as a man. I working toward that. Y'all could decide to do what you want, you know. But as I always, you know, I always come back to this, Derek. I can wrap up now. I always come back to this. Do not come and confuse the people internet with how many and shit. Don't come and do that. Don't come and say, one of men. Not on my watch. Because at the end of the day, you are telling me you live on this earth 30, 40 years and you don't find one person that you could have met and work with, that they had 80% of what you don't want, 90% of what you want. You're trying to tell me all these men was in the lower 40s? Come on, son.
Yeah. What's this? 2 minutes past 9 in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Senate Podcast, episode 217. Next lifetime. Hit the like button as it costs our admission. So hit the like button for us. Please ensure that you are still subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Right. And Neil, I am with you 100%. You can do what you want to do, but don't come and confuse the place when you do not get the results you want. You got certain things. I think that is kind of how we try to live life, right? We don't want the order, we don't want the structure, we just want to be footloose and fancy free. Do what you feel like, and then expect that you're gonna work out any juggling at the back end,
and then blame others.
And then when it doesn't, we blame others. I think we need to start being more intentional. You would have shared your particular set of circumstances with relationships and all that. Shoot, I've been through a lot of the same things. So I try my best to work towards improving myself so that I can be a better person for somebody else. I know that I say that. I see Cherish in the chat saying women don't want to be of service in the relationship. They want an ATM to take everything out of. So if that is what we are looking for, you will end up alone and empty. Women don't want to take care of their partner because the attitude is that he is to provide for me. So we got to go back to basics as women. And I'll say this: I saw the Crimson Cure, my girl Crimson Cure. She did a reaction to a video from the Daily Wrap-Up crew. Showed up the Crimson Cure, showed up the Daily Wrap-Up crew. And in the video, the lady, there's interview, the ladies that come in and stuff like that. And Daily Wrap-Up crew, the lady said, hey, I just want the man to provide for me, protect me, and shut up, essentially. So, Cherish, you may be on to something very, very profound when you say that, take care of them, take care of me, spend money for me, provide for me, protect me, but shut up. Don't tell me nothing, don't try to do nothing, outside of that there.
Yeah, just hush them out and know your role.
Cover me in your 4-piece and they can do what you feel like. And what is funny is that women know that a lot of this stuff is being a little out of order. And essentially well out of whack. We saw an interview with Young Miami. And I think it's Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked. and he was saying, he asked her about the city girl life. She's a city girl, you know what I mean? I asked her about city girl life, and she said that you said I am a whore. That's what she said, not what I said. That's what she said. She's a whore, and she said a whore with a W. That's what she said, huh? Not me. She's the whore with a W. This is what she.
I'm a whore with a W.
Yeah, not
emphatically a capital one.
Yeah, he's a whore. So when Jason Lee asked me, yeah, so would you encourage your daughter to do all this, to live the city girl life? She said, nah.
That's the go ahead, my brother. But
she said, nah, she would not encourage her daughter to do that. And that is interesting because Young Miami again. So I set some money around her. Yeah. Don't mind she get peep on by Diddy and, I do a couple other strange things. But, she like golden showers and all that. But she got money. She's been successful professionally or whatever. She's a good-looking woman. So you get the rewards of the life that you want to live. You don't want to encourage anybody else. Sorry, backtrack. You don't want to encourage. You don't want that life for your daughter. So what is that? So Neil, if you go into something, right? So we're doing a podcast. I say no. We're doing this podcast, and Reese come along and be like, yeah, Daddy was this. Are you doing a little podcast thing that I can help you? I can see where it boat. You will sure Reese with boat. Once it's something that upstanding, is not a being to society, you will show you where it boat. Sure. It's like just tell you music all the time.
I just tell Reese, don't mind the language, son. That is sometimes that is just like to have a bit of fun, but take the salient points and messages.
Right. And as I was saying, same thing with me. He didn't encourage me eating into music and stuff like that. I sure stuff. It help her with stuff that she has, even though he can't play, she's playing violin. It was sure stuff. If we were dealing in, narcotics now, then it'd be a different case. If he did come around, be like, nah, you can't see this here.
Yeah,
no. You know what I mean? And we understand that as parents. We know when things ain't right, but we still would be willing to put it out there for the general public. But then when it comes to we own children, we don't want to do that. Look at Cardi B. She don't want her children listening to music.
That's fascinating. Fascinating stuff. You go ahead.
See what we got going on here? We got the people that are peddling this stuff. Women, by the way. Ladies are peddling this stuff. So our children and our communities do not want it for themselves. Right? And then we got ladies like Claudia Jordan, Leah Fox, those ladies peddling dysfunction. But the day good man come along that can take them up, willing to take them up, they are done with the single life. Believe you me.
Believe you fast. There's something that you've said. I mean, in my opinion, you have a lot of like famous quotes throughout this whole podcast time. Like you really do impress me with how wise you are with some of the things you say. And I think for me, the most favorite quote that you've said is that a sandwich for a lot of these women beat. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they fully understand the power of a sandwich. A rabat.
Yeah.
You got this covered. I don't think they fully understand that, And I get that it may feel like you are putting yourself out there and you're being vulnerable and it feels subservient. But it fascinates me, and it further fascinates me because you also said this. Like when you know things, but when it's said out loud, you're like, oh yeah. Women just make these sandwiches, but who do feel like making sandwiches for? Sometimes they make sandwiches for men that ain't no use. As we say here in Barbados, they are of no use. You making a sandwich, you pressing the man clothes, you washing the man clothes, you cleaning the man house, but that man ain't doing nothing. Husband treatment, you ain't doing nothing for that man. And then when that man horn you, that man leave you, that man ball you out, that man dog you out, men ain't no good. because you have given your all, and because it was to a man that you loved. You know how I see this? I see this like you are a fat person. All your life you eat donuts, you eat sugary things, you ain't work out, you ain't do nothing, right? And you blame the candy companies for your obesity and your heart disease and your quality of life, all for the decisions you've made. Right?
These are the things that have actually happened in real life.
And it fascinates me. It fascinates me. Because at the end of the day, you know, quotes, you are the master of your own destiny. You know, what you put out into the universe, you're receiving. You're deserving of a quality, upright life. All
Very
of these
poetic.
Very poetic word salads, right? But at the end of the day, people, it's like they're not realizing that you're the master of your destiny, meaning that you got to do some hard work. If you want, we all know. I think everybody everybody that's listening knows that if you want $1 million, you have to put in hard work to get that $1 million.
One way or the next.
One way or the next, you are going to have to do something you're not comfortable doing.
One way or the next.
All right. Hopefully, you have decided that it is being outside your comfort zone and, you know, legal and, you know, doing certain things that you wouldn't have to degrade your moral fiber. But at the end of the day, we all know that to be wealthy, you need to put in hard work and sacrifice. Shoot, some of us know that to have the body that we want, to be in shape and be fit, you got to be disciplined and put in the work. But when it is intangible, when it is the mental health, when it is the spiritual side of things, right? You got to feed into yourself. And you got to do the hard work. Great. Look, it's interesting, right? You had a really rough come to Jesus moment last week, right? Like a real fundamental childhood trauma come to Jesus moment last week when I was having a conversation with somebody, right? And it left me in tears. It left me like, shh. You know what I mean? Like it really showcased something I need to really work on in therapy, right? I mean, I was bawling, I was saying because and it was something so it wasn't even complicated. It was something so simple because we're the sum of our experiences in life, our trauma, who we are, etc. We all have childhood trauma to some degree. But it really hit home like, yeah, boy, I got to deal with this. Because I was reduced to tears, snotty kind of tears, right? And it's like, I told the person when we had the conversation or whatever and certain realizations came, I say, you know, I can understand why a lot of people would not want to do that hard work. Because it is hard. Like when you are left, when you're done, you feel like sludge. You feel, because you're cleansing your thoughts. It's like you identifying a grease trap. You say, okay, I see where the blockage is. And you're both there, knee deep in sewage, your waste, right? It is not a comfortable feeling, right? But I can tell anyone that if you want to just be a better person and be lighter in your life, I ain't talking from no man or woman, nothing so, right? You got to do that work. And a lot of people don't want to do that work. I understand. You don't want to do the work. You want to live La Vida Loca, hot girl summer, fuck boy Saturday. You want to live your life. Fuck boy Friday would be a better. You get what I'm saying, right? You want to live that life. You want to drink, party. It's crop over time. So everybody, that, so whatever. I understand. But at some point, shout out John Nicole, glad to see my brother. Hope you're well. At some point, you got to address, you could only put the plaster upon the sore and avoid internally what you got to deal with. Because trust and believe, it can hit you either tomorrow, as my girl said, tomorrow, or it can hit you when you're really trying for it to hit. Trust and believe here. As Derek said, try to be a better person. And I ain't talking about just be a better person and get that money up. Yes, that's important. I ain't talking about get money or assets around you. That's important, right? I ain't talking about getting that dream body and having the clothes and everything. That is important. I'm not talking about like hygiene and overall physical well-being and health. That is important. But you know what's the most important thing you have? It is your mind, your mental health. That is the most important. You doubt me? They got a man that was born with no limbs. Man has no hands, man has no legs. The man is an inspirational speaker that has parachuted. The man has climbed mountains. The man has done amazing things in his life. And he said he attributes that to his positive mindset. He was born without those things from life. And he said that when asked how he feels without limbs, the man said, well, I never had them. And I was treated as normal by the people that loved me. So it was never like I felt like I was missing anything or anything. I was encouraged to do all sorts of things and be anything that I wanted to be within reason, right? Obviously, the man ain't gonna run a 10K in the traditional sense of running a 10K, but he's finding ways to make it work, right? That man went surfing with sharks. That man went deep sea diving. That man do all types of things. This man has no limbs. I'm talking about from your shoulder all the way back down, from your hips, but man has no limbs. So if you don't believe that your mental health is paramount to your well-being, then I don't know what to tell you. If the software ain't updated, if you work in a corrupt, check it. Bring it into, I got a fancy computer here. You got a fancy phone. You got a fancy car, right? Top of the line, tip top, right? Best money could buy. You showing it, oh, she look at you spinning lights there, look at the Bluetooth there, look at my car, look. I could start it here, so from overseas, like that type, right? But you don't update the software of the device, the car, the computer, or you get a virus, or somebody hack it. The car ain't in use, the phone ain't in use, the computer ain't in use. I bought a phone last year. After a month, it just stopped working. No matter how I try to restart it, reset it, hit it, do whatever, the phone stopped working. The software gone blank. Your mind is your software. How you think and feel and move yourself is your software. So you could go ahead and live your hot girl summer. You could live your fuck boy Friday, right? You could live your life. Drink up every drink that you see. Have sex with everybody you want. Have your standards and everything like that, right? But when it really start to hit home to one, right? Don't blame me. Don't blame Derek. Don't blame the Senate. Don't blame men. Don't blame the patriarchy. Don't blame nobody but yourself. When you're on your deathbed,
gotta blame the patriarchy.
And you have regrets, you could dipsy doodle it to everybody else. But in the four corners of your brain and your mind, you know full well that you do jump. So do wanna. But all I ask, right? Again, we always say, in the Senate, you are free to do what you want. It's 2023. You can be and do anything you want and live the life you want. You don't have to be you could tell me content and twist it up and say this man is thought bear joke, these men is misogynist, whatever like that, right? All we ask is when things come to fruition and we are seen to be right and profits do not come on Elon Musk internet and talk bear joke and blame no patriarchy and blame no man or blame no woman or do not blame nobody but yourself. Because that's when you can see me and Derek. You understand? That's how we see it.
I say this, right? Because you talk about doing the work. I find it interesting that everything else we have no problem working. But then when it comes to getting the relationships we want, and we heard Vivica Fox say, I think Claudia Jordan mentioned it as well. God can say, she sent a man. God can send the relationship we want. Well, that might be true. That kind of suggestion makes it sound like if you have no input in it, as if you're just waiting. You made a decision. You're going to study for X degree. You made a decision. You're going and buy these particular clothes. You're going for this particular job. But when it comes to the relationship that's going to shape, greatly impact your life, waiting on God.
Waiting on God, you waiting on the universe, you waiting on Muhammad, you waiting on. Like, I'm glad you brought up the studying, right? Because I find a lot of people, once the ABC straightforward thing, like for example, you want a doctorate, you gotta study. You want a car, you gotta put in the work, get your money up, get that car, right? Leap of faith, everything like that. But I find that a lot of people, they're reading the literature, they know exactly what they need to do. Because they post the memes and the quotes. They just ain't want to do it. Because then skeletons in the closet is hard. It's very, very hard to confront things that will reduce you to tears and make you feel like you are unworthy or not capable.
Yeah, that you're not as special as you thought you were.
Oh my God.
That's a little problematic for a lot of us. Hey, for us, it's 20 minutes past 9 in Barbados, rest of Eastern Caribbean. This is episode 217, Next Lifetime. We hope we had a good one tonight. Sure, let me don't make it the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Yeah. You can ignore. This is pertinent. You can ignore reality all you want. You cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Look at them ladies there tonight. Yeah. Be the best version of you for you. We can see you guys again soon. We got some shorts coming this week, so look out for them as well. And as you traverse the dating streets, please remember. We can see you guys again later.
Peace
be
and
good
love.
if you can. Be good. Be safe.
Amen. Hallelujah.